Hi, I am Brenda Hammon, and this is the day of the big book launch for Hear Me, just in case nobody has seen the cover. There it is. Yay! Oh, and
beautiful
on the back. See that? That is such a cool picture. Anyway, I regress. So, with us today is the lovely Brigitte Lessard Dale.
DL.
Yeah, did I say it? Good. I got that right.
Yeah.
She is the founder of Women Talk, which is sweeping across the province at a rapid pace, and Brigitte is literally on the run from one place to another. She has also compiled a book called When Women Talk, and there are 30 other authors in this book, and I am proud to say that I am one of those authors that have joined the tribe of women talkers. So I will hand this over to Brigitte, and she can tell you a bit more about herself. Brigitte, take it away.
Yay! Brenda, how are you?
I am doing good. Very good.
Very cool. Well, first off, thank you for having me as a speaker. It's always an honor, and there is nothing better I love doing than supporting one of my women talkers. And as you know, I also own a company called Sports Bras. So I really do support women, physically and morally.
Literally.
She even asked us to take our bras off and give them to her at the meeting. So,
oh, like some crazy things are happening across the province right now with this whole thing at our Women Talk last week in Medicine Hat. We had not one, but two women whip their bras off right there. One of them was actually my director, who had to finish and do, after she whipped her bra off, I said, so we have to do the group pictures now. And she's like, oh my God. But you know, I love Women Talk because, you know, we talk about some pretty heavy topics, like the topic that Brenda shares, but we always try to do it with some humor mix in it too, because even though you can talk about like horrific things that have happened in your life, it doesn't mean that you're depressed, and it doesn't mean you're not having fun, and it certainly doesn't mean you won't whip your bra off just because.
that's true.
So, yeah, so we're in 6 cities across Alberta, and we're like pushing to go to BC. We've had a little bit of a setback, but we are going to get there. And you know, I have talks right across the country, people waiting for me to be ready, and even in the US. So it's a really cool platform that helps people like you, Brenda, whether you have a book or not, we all have a story. And when we share our stories, we heal ourselves, we heal other people, and we help each other. Yeah, so that's what I do. I support women morally and physically.
And you and I are jumping out of the airplane on June the 16th to support the Edmonton Dream Center. So.
Oh yeah, baby. Now, if you want to support me, you'll be buying me a Depends, because I'll make one.
I'm going to see if we can get them to sponsor.
Yeah. The 50-year-old women jumping out of planes.
I wish I was 50. I'm a few years past that number, but that's okay.
Well, I'm 52, so I'm over the hump now and enjoying the second half of my life, which is actually quite crazy and fun.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But, hey, like, my hat's off to you. 2 books. There are beautiful. I was just showing the cover to somebody yesterday, and I was saying how beautiful your books look.
And it's funny because I have the cover before I even have the book. You know, I know what I want the cover to look like to embody what the book has to look like. So even the third one in this series, I already have the jacket designed and ready to go. So.
Isn't it amazing? Like, I know some people call it like living on purpose, but I was just actually writing my new talk, and I decided I'm going to call it being in the zone. Yeah. Because I played hockey for 30 years, and there is nothing better than that feeling when you're in the zone and you're going to kick butts. Yeah. And that used to happen on the ice, and now it's happening on the mic and in my book. And when you're in the zone, like, it just all comes to you. It's crazy.
It is. It's very intimidating sometimes. You know, I find like, oh my goodness, like we're already #1 bestseller in women writers. And I'm going like, we just started. Like, oh,
it's like, how did that happen? What the heck is going on here?
Yeah,
amazing.
I wasn't expecting that. So
and it just starts coming to you. You know, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're in the zone, it's amazing. The cover of our anthology, I got put in touch with a guy that designs covers, and his wife had seen this artist from BC on Facebook. Nobody knew each other. And, I said, well, I'll send her a message and see. And she's like, yes, take it. I love it. I want nothing. Just go. I was like, what? Really? Like, it was crazy. And then the guy that designed the book, David, was saying, that piece of art was designed for your book. Even before you knew you were going to do a book, this was happening for you already.
Oh, yeah. It's a very empowering cover. Yeah, I do. I love it. So and that book launches on May the 26th.
Correct. And then on Amazon on June 7 or 9. I can't remember now. But
yeah, we're getting all of the authors are going to be together. We're all signing each other's books. So I said to anybody who buys one of the books, because we all get books to sell, that I'm going to have every author sign all of my books, so that if you pre-buy it, you're going to have all 30 authors with their name in your book, which is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity because we don't all live in the same towns. So
yeah, it's chances of that happening again. And then we'll have there's a couple of people that will be missing, so we'll try to get it all together, but we're doing a second one. Once we jumped off the plane and we've changed our pants and panties, we'll go to another book launch and go have a glass of wine.
We're going to need a bottle of wine to have with a glass of wine. I'm not too sure about that plane thing, but you know what? As long as there's a hunky guy strapped to my back, I'm good to jump.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. I said to my husband, I said, as I'm plummeting to earth and this hunky guy is strapped to my back, if the parachute doesn't open and I hit the ground, I'll know I've had a good time.
He's got your back, if nothing else.
Yeah. Anyway, Megan, is there anything you would like to ask?
Well, Brigitte, I'd love to hear, what it was that moved you about Brenda's story when you met her, and just what is it that really got you?
Well, the one thing that just freaks me out really is how many women have been sexually abused and have gone through like very difficult times. And, not everybody's in a position they can talk and share their story. You eventually get there, but, it's got to be at the right time in your life. But when you're sitting there not able to share your story yet, and you see somebody brave like Brenda sharing her story and writing about it, it gives you courage, and you're not alone. And the more we share, the better it's going to get. And really, I think that it's up to us women to stand up and say, enough. You are not going to touch my daughter. You are not going to touch my son. There will be no more of this. And it's up to us to make that happen.
Absolutely.
So we need to flex our bicep, ladies.
Yeah, that is true. If we don't stand together, it's never going to stop. And it's probably not going to stop, but if we bring awareness to it, and if we open up people's eyes and say, look around you, this is happening, then maybe you can save some more lives. But, I think as long as mankind is on the earth, it's always going to be something that has happened, but we don't have to lie down and accept it. We can fight back, and we do have the power to fight back when we stand together. So, yeah.
And even for our kids, with my kids, I am very blunt, and I call body parts the way they're supposed to be called. I don't know what words I can use here. But
I think we get the picture.
And, I'm very blunt about it because, information is power.
Yeah.
And the more our children know, the more we know, the more powerful we are. And the more it is kept under the carpet, swept under the carpet, then that takes our power away.
Yeah. I used to talk to my kids very early on, again, what the body parts were, and when they started into.
What did you call it, Brenda?
I call it your vagina. Is
Good
what
for you.
I call
know
it.
what?
That's what it is.
Funny enough, I have a friend of mine who's a police officer and dealt with all of this, and she said that's one of the biggest mistake parents do is they gave it the, you know, the cutesy little name, and then the child will go and talk to someone, but they don't know that name. They don't even realize what the heck the kid is saying.
No.
So, you know, a vagina is a vagina, and a penis is a penis, and
That's
you know,
just
that's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's a place nobody can touch.
Yeah.
And if they do, here's what you do.
Yeah, that is it. And, you know, and I would say to my kids when they were first in that junior high, you know, ask me any question and I will tell you the answer. It may be a bit uncomfortable, but, you know, if somebody says something to you or you're talking to your friends and they're saying, well, you know, if you do this, this will happen or this won't get happen, you know, ask me. I will tell you point blank if it is yes or no. And I mean, I did freak my kids out with that a little bit.
That's the best part of having children. Hello.
Probably
Nothing better to have them go, out.
I probably traumatized them more than anything with that bluntness. But you know what? You have to. And for me, it was something that I needed to protect them. And that's the only way that I could protect them was with information, without telling them my whole story. So information was key and knowledge was key in raising my kids on that subject. So yeah.
Yeah, and the other part that I like about this is that you get to a point in your life where, okay, I would not have asked for this, but I'm glad it did happen because now look what I have, look what I'm doing. And I like to think of it as like a rubber band, right? And the worse the crap was, when you rebound, the more powerful you're going to be. And it truly is how it happens. Like I see it all the time at Women Talk. It's been one of my biggest discovery is that, you know, the worse it's been, the more powerful you're going to be. You just got to get through it.
Yeah, that's just it. You've already been through hell. Now all you're doing is just walking back out. And it is so true. Like I wouldn't change anything that happened to me in my life. Not one thing, because what all of that crap has done is led me to here.
And you wouldn't be there without it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here without it. And, you know, so kudos that, not kudos to the abusers. They're just a bunch of jackasses. But anyway, whoops, sorry, but I wasn't supposed to say that. But, you know, getting through it and taking my life back and doing that sort of stuff is what women have to do. They have to empower themselves, and it just takes one step at a time to do that, and you know, persevere. So
well, yeah. It sets an amazing, you know, it makes you an amazing role model for your kids when they see you standing up for yourself like that.
Yeah, you can't wallow in it. It doesn't do anybody any good to stay stuck in your story.
And some people want you to be a victim. It's like, no, it's not possible that you're not angry, that you're not this. Like, you know, you have to be feeling horrible. And, you know, you get to a point where it's like, no, I don't.
No, you do. And I mean, it's like anything. It's a process. When you're angry, you're mad, you do all of this sort of stuff, but then you grab yourself by your bootstraps and pull yourself up, put on your big girl panties and say, enough.
And jump out of a plane.
Jump out of a plane.
Out of a plane. That's right. But you get to a part where you say enough is enough and I need to now take control. And that time varies with lots of people. Some, they never get there. My mom never ever got there. And that's sad. When I think about my mom, it is really sad that she never got to live the life that she had dreamed about when she was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the older generation too. I think that a lot of women were suppressed.
Oh, huge.
And did not have the opportunities that we now have.
Yeah.
You know, and that, I mean, there's still a battle. There's still, you know, some stuff to fight about, but we have it pretty darn good here.
Yeah, we do. And we can take back control because we have all of the resources now to be able to do that. We're back back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, there wasn't anything.
Yeah.
So kudos to us, and you know, all brave women standing up and telling their story and making a change in the world, and that's what we need. So
yeah, and it's quite interesting to see the change that's happening with men over this as well, right?
Yes.
Because I mean, we all have masculine and feminine energy, and you know, it's just a question of which one you have more, and usually obviously guys have more and women have more, but it's really cool to when we stand up and we are strong, we allow men to also be soft and strong. Like we can all be all of it, and it's kind of cool to watch it happen.
Yeah, and men are now coming out of the shadows and saying, this has happened to me, and the stigmatism of, well, you're a guy, like how can it happen? You're a guy. Well, it does happen, and it is equally as devastating for men as it is for women. And in some aspects, it's probably a little bit more devastating because of the male anatomy and how the male anatomy works. And, you know, and we won't go into all of that detail, but, you know, so, we'll just leave it at that.
Shall we get out a pen and paper?
Yeah, we're going to have art class now.
No diagrams required.
Not only that, also, you know, like, you're a man, you're tough, you don't talk about that wussy shit, and you just suck it up and keep it in and don't share the information.
Oh yeah, like that is very much the mentality out there. And I mean, that is probably coming down from fathers to sons, like suck it up, you know, don't be a buttercup or whatever it is that they all say. But, you know, times are changing, and thank heavens that times are changing and people are becoming more aware of what is going on in this world. And yeah, I can see big things happening. So hopefully here we are.
Well, you're a big part of it.
Yes,
absolutely. We
all are. So Megan, is there anything else you would like to add before we conclude our crazy interview?
I think that was great. Yes. Congratulations on jumping out of the plane. Yes. I think you do need to approach Depends about sponsorship on that one.
Oh, and Brenda, you should get a good sports bra before you jump out.
Yeah. Don't remove the bra before jumping.
And don't wear a button shirt.
Things could happen.
Don't wear a button shirt.
Yeah.
I'll be flashing the world.
What are you doing?
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Brigitte, for this lovely interview and this great time. And we will be talking to you soon at the next Women Talk, and actually at the next book launch. So you have a great day, and thank you everybody for sitting and having a laugh with us today.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.